Mahalo to everyone who's shared. This is truly a beautiful cross-pollination. Um, I spoke at a revisioning conference about 3 years ago, and I'm really excited to share an update on the project that I shared there, as well as some ways in which the project has been influenced by conversations like these and the Ecoversities Alliance. I wanted to invite this beautiful butterfly to join us as a land acknowledgement. This is the Kamehameha butterfly. It's one of two endemic butterflies in Hawaii, where I'm joining from today and where I'm fortunate to live and work as a settler aloha aina. Butterflies are ho'ailona, a good omen, and they fill me with gratitude for the Kanaka Maoli knowledge systems that invite transformative learning for so many every day with such aloha. I wanted to begin my talk at this picnic table where I had a conversation which influenced my thinking. This was at the Turtle Island Gathering at the Atlan Eco Village outside of Portland. We were doodling on a big piece of paper like this, as you do. And this was my little corner of the doodle, where I was thinking about my positionality as a career academic. Hi, Sierra. Um, I have been a community college professor for 25 years, and I'm also a scholar of higher education. And I've always been interested in this boundary zone, this semi-permeable membrane around that ivory tower. And we all had a good chuckle when I drew this Eye of Mordor, and I still kind of get a kick out of thinking about it. But listen, as we know from Lord of the Rings, Mordor is not impenetrable, and eventually Mordor does fall. I consider myself to be a climate change educator and a collapse-aware scholar, and I think that all of this work, we're all participants in a transition space, developing an emergent system of higher education and lifelong learning. And all of these threats to Mordor are real. I wanted to share this book that I've been reading called Peak Education by the academic futurist Brian Alexander. He's also a friend and an advisor on this project, and he really unpacks this idea of peak higher ed, and he discusses many of these reasons. So there's just a real need for everything that each of you are doing here. And you might be surprised where I'm going to go next, but I am really interested in what's happening in the world of accreditation in higher education. I'm speaking mostly from a US context, but accreditation is actually a very global community. There are many acronyms that we won't get into, but most countries have a balance of these three types of accreditation. In the US, we have elements of a national accreditation through the Department of Education. And in the past, we had a small group of accreditors called regional accreditors, which are now called institutional accreditors. And this group over here was recently famously referred to as a cartel, a not entirely inaccurate description related mainly to this group's gatekeeping function for federal funding and financial aid. But that's the gatekeeping function. Accreditation itself is a really good thing. We have to have quality assurance, peer review, standards of practice, learning outcomes, transparent metrics. I believe these are all really good things. And in the next few years, we're going to see a decoupling of that gatekeeping function and the function of accreditation. I hope that accreditation is going to be returning to its roots in voluntary accreditation. So what we've been working on for 4 years now is to develop an independent specialized accreditor for sustainability and sustainability related programs in and adjacent to higher education. There is a global body called CHIA, CIQG, the CHIA International Quality Group, which regulates programmatic or specialized accreditors. A specialized accreditor usually accredits programs like Emily's inside accredited institutions, but also can serve as a boundary spanner for alternative degrees, certificates, and micro-credentials. So this is the Sustainability Education Accreditation Commission, and we will apply to be a CHIA recognized accreditor in 2027. This year, we're doing 6 site visits, all at accredited universities. There's a lot of activity in the higher education for sustainability space, and we are not trying to clutter the field with a shiny new object. But a commission is a group convened and tasked with something. You might think of a government commission, but I really see this as a commission that has been tasked by communities, by the planet, by butterflies, to evolve higher education. And as the emergent system grows, my hope is that this commission can provide third-party quality assurance for degrees both inside and outside formal colleges and universities. In particular, accreditation for micro-credentials is a very, very hot topic right now. These are our core and support areas of best practices. There are 48 standards inside of these areas, with areas of specialization like food, energy, water, and the opportunity to weave transformative themes throughout the standards. I've been told that this slide looks a lot like a tarot card, and I'm okay with that. One direct result of the conversation at the Turtle Island Gathering is that we have been working with Gaia University, which since 2006 has already been designed around some of the same standards and practices and key competencies, including systems thinking and regenerative design. So the standards are written by the professionals who are doing sustainability work across sectors, across topics. And Gaia University was already doing these things as an alternative, distributed, regenerative degree granting program. What we hope to do as a third-party accreditor is to simply hold standards that have been set by the community. So I'm very excited about that relationship. And one more thing that happened at Atlan Center was this young woman who arrived on like day 2 or day 3 of the gathering. This is a stock photo, but this woman was in her 20s, maybe early 30s, and she rolls up in her van and she just showed up with so much knowledge from internships, from woofing, from learning at permaculture sites. And she contributed in such an amazing way. And um, I thought about the valuable information about growing food that she knows, and what an opportunity it would be if she could teach at a community college or something. So, what if one day she had that opportunity but needed a credential to do it? So, one way is to have community colleges change their hiring criteria, which is usually controlled by accreditors. But another way is to try and help translate all of her experience through prior learning assessment and other credentials that might help her to take that opportunity someday. A third-party accreditor can't do any of these things right away, but we really feel that transformative accreditation can be a lever for the evolution of trans-academic sustainability education. I like to say that our approach to accreditation is all carrot, no stick. This is a voluntary peer review process that's based on holistic, developmental, dynamic, context-sensitive standards. It's a community effort to professionalize the field of change makers working in all aspects of life across all sectors. Our vision is a thriving biosphere with human communities as part of nature. And that is what I always wished higher education had been for during my 25 years as a community college professor. In closing, I'd like to thank in particular Sierra and Eileen and Keala and Dan for your friendship and invitations at the Turtle Island Gathering. I wanted to thank the trees and the mountains and the river that were also part of that conversation. I am going to try to engage on the Community Waves platform. And if anyone is interested in revisioning accreditation, I'd love to talk with you further, and I'm happy to share that we have a nomination form for a community member seat on the 2026-27 commission to vote on accreditations for sustainability and sustainability related degrees. Thank you so much for allowing me to share this little butterfly flapping